I've been listening to "Do You Want to Know" by the Arctic Monkeys a lot recently. The song that I really enjoy, and if I'm correct, the beginning of that song is what they used to use in the Ford F-150 commercials, like 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Has it really had like down, 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 and then it'd have the like, they would have the. Have you ever been riding on your bike so fast that you hit a rock, fell off of it, and snapped your leg in half and slowly bled out in the pavement? That's what it's like to drive a Ford F-150. It had those commercials. Well, yes. That was the meme version, but it had those commercials. And every time I play the song, I just auto-generate one of the memes in my head. And it'll be the most random shit, just like, have you ever taken a shit so hard that you shat out all of your internal organs? That's what it's like to drive a Ford F-150. And that's been me for the past, like, month, and it's just getting progressively worse.
Oh, nice. Well, I guess...
It happens when I sleep now.
Welcome, everybody, to Lorecast Eternals.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
This is kind of the unofficial drunk episode, or hungover episode.
I know, somebody decided to get absolutely crunked at 3 o'clock today.
We had a really fun day.
Yeah, dude. Jacob, what the hell, man?
Oh, yeah.
You got me. Truly
totally
trashed.
It's me, 100%.
Yeah.
Philip.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, by the way. I'm Jacob.
I'm Mitchell.
I'm Phil.
This is Drunk Master 9000.
Yeah, that's Phil.
No, we went to we took a day trip down to Brenham, Texas before we recorded the episode, and
first of all,
we were checking the town out, and then we just ended up going to like 3 different bars.
Yeah, we're not expecting to get a third of a bottle of wine when we ordered a glass of wine.
Okay, to be fair, that wine bar slapped.
I love that wine bar. Oh yeah.
That lady was so like just nice and just.
Well, the first that she directed us to the one of the top 10 restrooms in the United States.
That was the wildest shit. She's like, "Hey, do you want to see one of the bougiest bathrooms in America?" We're like, "What?"
A taxidermied ferret watched me use the restroom.
Philip, a taxidermied ferret watched us use the restroom. I was right next to you taking a piss as well, and it was just as uncomfortable for me.
Amongst the 25 paintings of just
naked French women.
Of naked French women.
It was an interesting bathroom to say the least.
Yeah.
Not the weirdest public setting I've ever been in, though, because there was
public setting or public bathroom.
What about
public
that
setting? There was this restaurant I went to down in Key West. It's part of a hotel that was down on Key West proper. And like their primary like breakfast buffet area, it was set up in an area that just had a shitload of like gravure, like nude pinup photos of famous actresses from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Didn't you say a lot of them were like Marilyn Monroe or something like that?
Some of them were, but it wasn't just Marilyn Monroe.
It was just like titties everywhere, basically, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my dad and I walked in, and I'm like 14, 15, 16 at the time.
Huh.
And my dad walks and looks around, and he's like, And I walk in, and I look around, and I'm like, Okay, then. So we go in, we grab our food, we sit down, and we're just surrounded by all these like topless photos, and we're just like, we're just going to eat and get out of here. And then in walks the family of 4 with small children. And my dad and I look at them, look at each other, look at them, and we're just like, hey! Go back to eating our food. They promptly turned around and left.
Yeah, I can't blame them.
Yeah.
That'd be hell to explain to your kid, to your little kids, like, oh, mommy, what are these paintings? Well, you see.
At A&M, there's a very famous restroom, and the term for this restroom is called poop with a view.
Poop with a view?
So it's the 3rd floor academic building.
Do you poop with a view?
And it's just, there's a window right there, and you just go, huh.
It's a nice view.
It's a nice view.
Yeah, poop with a view.
Poop with a view.
There you go.
Okay.
But yeah, so we ended up just kind of bar hopping. So Philip is hungover, I'm buzzed, and I think Mitchell's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely fine. I'm the one that drove home.
Yeah.
I had to be fine.
Yeah, Mitchell had to be responsible. Me and Phil got to be fuck-ups.
Okay.
No. That float was nice though.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think. Yeah, the last bar we went to, there was like an ice cream float, but instead of soda with the float, it was a Russian Imperial Stout.
Yep.
I fucking hate stouts. I'm not a fan of the
Honestly,
of the bitterness, but like that. I mean, I probably wouldn't get it again, but like it was pretty good.
The ice cream somehow made the stout more bitter than just drinking the stout.
Well, no. So for me, it wasn't the stout itself; it was the foam that fucked me up.
That was bad.
Like, the
but the
foam was
rest of it
horrible.
was great. But okay. To move things along just a tad bit, we did get a new Patreon member. So first, I'd like to always thank all of our Patreon members because
Shout out to the Patreon, you guys are awesome.
You really help with keeping this going, mainly because I don't have to drop a yearly subscription for our podcast and then gas money. So
much gas money.
Shout out to all you OGs and the new one,
Jim, John, Jones, Jamothy. I think it's James John or something.
We're just gonna say James.
James. Thanks for joining, James. We promise you probably won't regret it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're only slightly, challenged.
Um,
Oh, and for an announcement, Allie is gonna be setting up the
fourth contest.
the last quarterly contest of 2023. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to DM her on the Discord.
You'll spit it out eventually.
I'll English it at some point in time. But feel free to DM her on the Discord server for any comments
or just
questions, or at her. Yeah, just she has the information. She's smarter than we are. But yeah, so that's gonna be a brewing up pretty soon. Is that all the announcements? I think that's all the announcements.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing Kharadron Overlords Part 2, and this is not an over Discord episode, so hopefully we won't have computer issues and our voices sound.
Yeah,
like,
maybe one of our computers won't actually catch on fire in the process.
Yeah, and our audio won't sound like a parakeet stuck in a blender. It got pretty bad.
Yeah.
We do apologize about that. That episode was rough.
So many technical difficulties. All the college students are back, so now my Wi-Fi is trash.
Is that why it's been going? Because you just overload?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. And I'm stuck with Optimum.
Mitchell's basically like, get off my lawn, but get off my bandwidth.
Yeah.
You goddamn kids.
Look. All I'm saying is that just means your opportunity for one-night stands went up significantly.
I thought my mind went to go, I can act like a hobo with a shotgun.
Me and Mitchell had a conversation about this not but 3 hours ago.
I'm going to go on a murder spree.
I feel like I missed a key piece of information to that comment.
So he was
That's
like...
how I feel.
I'm like fixing my mic and Mitchell's like murdering people with a shotgun. And I'm like, I know I'm a little buzzed, but what?
No, me and Cersei had this conversation. It's because I am too well put together and everybody thinks I'm gay.
I mean, whatever it takes to, have some company, right?
I am sure that Mitchell could find some fine young men. If he so chose. I'm not making eye contact with him. They're going to throw something at me in a second.
Moving along. It sucks that I like to have a nicely decorated interior of a home.
I think it's fantastic.
And I dress nicely.
I think it's fantastic.
Women just walk into your presence and they're like, ah, yes.
They look at that couch behind you and go, that man is gay.
Yeah, it's
It's an Italian chase.
Bro, it's so comfy, though.
Yeah, it's an Italian...
It looks like the most uncomfortable piece of furniture on the fucking planet. And I laid on it, and I was like, dude, I could nap here.
So there's a reason women in the 1800s were apparently constantly falling all over these things, and it's because they're really comfortable.
That's handcrafted in Italy.
Really?
Yeah.
We're talking about a couch, by the way. Couch.
Chase.
It's a chase.
It's my reading lounge. I read on that.
Oh, so I learned that apparently Mitchell has magical home wrecking powers.
I mean, I believe that could also be used to describe my interaction with James's life.
No, and I'm
Not new Patreon James, other person James.
I'm being a bit of a dick when I describe it that way, but apparently
I wish I was being a
Mitchell
dick.
was telling me that apparently there's like a couple.
I've ruined 3 relationships.
Not on purpose though, just
on
like,
accident, because they're just like, oh my god, he treats me so well. It's not like they dated me, but still, they're like
he treats me like shit. And Mitchell's like, well, then let me like give you some advice, and they break up, and then Mitchell's like, what have I done?
no, I just listen to their problems. They're like, oh my god, he listens, and it's like, why am I not in the relationship after anything happens?
Mitchell, are you familiar with the term "go fuck yourself"?
Yep.
Because apparently that's it. Anywho, this went a weird direct. Kharadron Overlords Part 2. Jesus Christ.
How their society works.
Yeah.
No, I think I want to go back to talking about how Mitchell ruined society.
Step number 1.
Stop.
Step number 1:
good.
drink a lot of beer.
No. So the last episode, we just talked about a lot of the lore about the Kharadron Overlords, like what happened in the Age of Myth, Age of Chaos, Age of Sigmar. We didn't go over the Aether War, which we said we would go over in this episode. But yeah, Be'lakor shenanigans.
That really needs to be covered in Be'lakor's Burning Skies.
Yeah, I think we decided that like we'll talk about it more in depth. But whenever
Broken Realms Be'lakor.
Broken Realms Be'lakor. But just to shorthand it is basically Be'lakor was trying to do head ass shit in Shimon with like the Silver Tower, which is like Gaunt Summoner bullshit. Point being is Be'lakor was trying to summon lots of fucking demons in Shimon, and the Kharadron Overlords weren't fucking cool with that, and then they cast Gun and everything died.
Correct.
And once again, that's the Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
But-
we're now
yeah.
going to explain how Kharadron Overlords are still Durden / dwarves. We will be saying dwarves for the rest of this podcast.
Their society and whatnot.
And how they differ from other dwarves.
We are not going to be talking about all of their flying ships in this episode because we don't want to.
Facts.
They have ships and they fly.
With Aether Gold.
Yep, and there's a lot of them.
So, going with what's pretty interesting about them is that they're not religious in one bit, but they still kind of revere their ancestor gods.
That's not entirely true, because one of the big holes, I think Beric Thring, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but Beric Thring is actually still decently devout. You might not be wrong when it comes to like not religious, like they don't revere, but they are the only Skyport, if I remember correctly, that's still like to a certain extent like prays to Grungi and reveres them as the great ancestors and doesn't have any like animosity against them.
There's a really big ancestor concept to their society. They always revere their ancestors, and although they do not worship deities,
Real quick, I hate to say this, but apparently my notes on culture and society got deleted.
intriguing.
Well, Philip is going to be here for comic relief.
Yeah, that's about all I'm gonna be good for.
Notes apps are fucking weird.
So they do not actively
sorry about
praise or religious,
Just
but they
say funny
still
things occasionally. You'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I like vaguely remember this because whenever I did all my initial research, but yeah, no, I opened up my notes and I'm like, "Where's my society
Being
notes?"
hungover probably doesn't help.
That shouldn't have anything to do with it.
I mean, your cognitive abilities, yes.
Lower.
Yeah, but it doesn't have anything to do with my notes being deleted.
Facts. Okay. Continuing.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna blame my cat.
God damn it.
Did I throw off your groove?
No, but I certainly did.
Yes. I miss Freya so much.
Let me just
Are you still
give me your feet.
No. So Kharadron Overlords.
Miss Freya.
Yeah. I also love Freya. Don't you stop touching my big toe.
Brother. This is gonna be a rough episode. Which was fucking hilarious. We're like, yeah, society and whatnot shouldn't be too hard. This shouldn't take too long. And now we're sitting here like, this is gonna be a rough fucking episode.
It's already 15 minutes in.
Oh, fuck
That
it,
sounds
we
like
ball.
us.
Yeah, it really does. So going back. ancestors are very important to the Kharadron Overlords.
Yeah, they still.
But that still includes their ancestor gods. They just do not actively worship them. They still respect them.
Yeah,
That
Barrack Thring more than anyone. But
Yeah.
yes, they don't. They revere them as ancestors, not as necessarily gods. Some, but some like straight don't like them. Like there are some Skyboards that are like, fuck Grungy, like point blank, fuck Grungy.
They are not religious because they all they realize that gods exist, but they're also they believe that anything can be explained by science.
Yeah, all think like they accept the reality of gods and demons and whatnot, but they are more like this can be explained by science.
And I'm
a natural occurring reason as to why this happened, not just my dick, and that's why.
Yeah.
Real quick, and on the god topic, I think a good way to describe it is they see the gods more as figureheads than things to be worshipped.
Yeah. Though they do put the god artistic stylings of religion.
Iconography.
Yes, like on their ships and on their skyports.
They still ride into battle with like things of Grungy and Grimnir and Valleya and whatnot. But this is more like to a certain extent, it's like it looked pretty, so we put it on ship. But also, it's like we're respecting our ancestors, we're respecting the figureheads and what they represent, but we don't worship them. But this is to show that
sometimes
we still respect them.
It will be an actual honored ancestor, like somebody's ancestor did something nice, and so they're like, oh cool, I'm gonna have his his visage.
Yeah, because respecting revering their ancestors is still really big to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also another big part of that of revering their ancestors and whatnot is a lot of the pendants that you'll see them wear into combat. Those are actually melted down from ancient weapons from the Age of Myth. Or even weapons that managed to make it over from the world that was. They're melted down from those weapons and then reforged into these ancestral
Could you imagine
symbols.
Finding a weapon from a destroyed, from your destroyed ancestral world and being like, I'm gonna melt that bitch.
Well, no, these are axes and swords, and of course they've moved so far beyond that it's
there's nothing.
So what they do is they use that.
With the power of friendship and magic, anything is possible. They can definitely restore those.
I'm assuming they're not melting down extremely potent magical artifact from the world that was.
No.
It's just kind of like finding. It's like going to Egypt and finding a long lost pharaoh's tomb and being like,
let's make pain out of it.
If you're British, or not British, let's eat that.
That was the British too.
The British, yeah.
They made pain out of it, but they also ate it.
Yeah,
Mummy Brown.
Yeah,
Mummy Brown. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah. By the way, if you ever buy a paint that's labeled Mummy Brown, originally it was called Mummy Brown because the primary pigment in there was
dead Egyptians.
Was literally mummy.
It's just kind of a weird concept to be like, this it might not be powerful, but this ancient artifact from this untold world thousands upon thousands of years ago into the furnace.
Well, remember they're extremely pragmatic.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or that I disapprove.
And they will carry those trinkets with them into combat specifically to honor their ancestors.
I'm sorry, but feel free to continue. I just wanted to comment on that.
Yeah. Well, I'm basically done.
But yeah, no, the way they do worship is really cool. I really like it. And like I said, there are some skyports that are like, fuck Grungy, we don't care about them at all. There's some that revere them as great ancestors. Some still kinda ish worship them as gods, but not really. It's pretty cool to see how they interact with their worship and whatnot. I think the way they went about it, it's actually really cool. I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think depending on the skyport that you go to, some people think about Grungy and the great works and his breath mixing with the bullshit and making aether gold. So they're depending on the skyport, some people are like, yeah, that was super awesome, and the other skyports that was his big fuck up. Fuck Grungy.
Yeah. Also, I think with Kharadron Overlords, it's very interesting how they made them just they are dwarves. But they almost had to sprinkle a space marine, if that makes sense.
We talked about this in the bonus episode. They're just Leagues of Photon.
They really are. They're very militaristic.
Mercantile, pragmatic. militaristic. They're an interesting group.
Very big on ancestry, but they also don't let their ancestry dictate who is actually like the leader.
Well,
it's
yeah,
all
no, they
a
don't-
merit-based system.
They don't do. I think we talked about this in part one, but fuck it. They don't do like royal lines. Like Mitchell. If I'm your dad and I was like this great fucking leader,
You're not
like,
my dad?
shit. But like, let's say I was this great, powerful military leader that did all this cool shit for the Kharadrons, and you're my kid, and they're like, and
Yeah.
if you suck ass, you suck ass.
Guess like he's gonna be in like with the Arknaut company. You're gonna have to go prove himself before he actually does any leadership.
Like, get good scrub. Like if you suck, you suck. That's what it is. It doesn't matter who your daddy is.
The Chinese bureaucracy, like it truly is a merit-based system. Now there's corruption in the old Chinese bureaucracy. We're not gonna go into that, but like in the grand scheme of things,
In a perfect world, the entire fucking Kharadron like society, I ain't no helicopter papa, sink or swim, bitch.
yeah. But
oh shit, did we talk about like the rocks of remembrance?
no,
that
we haven't gotten there yet.
I have not. I think that goes into more like revering their ancestors, not like the gods, but just like they're actually mortal blooded ancestors. Is they just they have rocks that they inscribe names on and shit, and to like deeds and things like that to remember their ancestors. It's pretty fucking basic, but like it's neat. I like it because it still feels very like just good old fashioned dwarven to do that. You know,
It's if dwarfs and Tau got together. Maybe. Maybe not. That's probably a bad analogy.
Well, I mean, Tau are known for having really, really high tech and good technology compared to everyone
They
else.
don't believe in gods, really. It's just for the greater good.
Tau
they
have
do-
mechs, Kharadrons have flying helicopters.
It's about the good of the society and what, like, because a lot of their merit-based
I can
system.
kind of see if the Tau were more mercantile. I think I could. I mean, I guess they're decently mercantile. I don't fucking know. I agree to a certain extent. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very strange that you have dwarves that are not dwarves because they don't consider themselves family of other dwarves, like fire slayers. They go like, I mean, yeah, they're
I don't think they like the fire slayers after the whole like we're not taking your refugees and everyone was dying.
so they don't consider them like cousins or brothers or anything because they kind of just they're like, no, we're not going to take you in. They're in the Age of Chaos. The
They're
fire
like,
slayers
yeah.
were just like, no, we're not going to take you in because you're not us. You're not fire slayers. They're like, okay, I guess
Bruh,
we're
dwarves.
not
What
your
the
family
fuck?
then.
Yeah, I think like they're very much like they're the same race as us, but like that's about it.
Yeah, the overlords literally see the fire slayers as only they're more honor bound to keep their end of a contract, and that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's pretty fair. I think the Grunstock Infantry Corporation, the private military people we talked about the first episode.
Yeah.
I think they have like rocks of remembrance too, or like honor bearers or something like that.
Yeah.
They have the same kind of thing. I know it kind of sounds like I'm repeating myself, but I just think it's I just really enjoy that good old fashioned.
even with their-
I just think they're neat.
I just think they're neat.
They're pretty neat.
I just like them.
It goes in with their names as well. A lot of their names are done specifically with honor. They're very honorific. As I'm seeing here, it's dash SSON or dash DOTR.
Well, yeah, it's like that's how you get like Kurgan's son or like Aether daughter. Daughter.
I never put that together.
Essentially, it's son and daughter, so it's like
Oh
name
my
son,
gosh.
name daughter.
That's another big thing that makes this really different from like the Fire Slayers or really any other dwarves. They're not afraid to hide their female dwarves.
The Kharadrons.
Yes.
Yeah, well, because like who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Like,
they're very
you-
popular.
you're
when
you're
everybody's
female, what
wearing
does it
powered
matter?
armor.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you're female. Who gives a shit? Like you work just like everyone else. So, like who gives a fuck? Yeah,
Yeah.
just get out there and do your job.
Yeah, go die like the rest of us.
I don't know.
All
a
I'm
whole-
saying is,
I don't know a whole.
I just wish they had fucking beards.
Oh yeah, that's the one hardcore heresy thing about the Kharadrons is to fit in their power armor, they have to trim their beards and shit. And Mitchell told me that, and my only comment was, "That's going in the fucking book." fuck?
Oh man, I need to find that
Do
video
music
again.
do music intensifies.
Hold on, let me see if I can find that.
God,
Yeah.
it's because
I get it though. Like if you have like 16 pounds of hair on your face and you have power armor that's supposed to be like environmentally sealed.
the ones that don't have to go into the power armor, like the
They, like,
ones
they,
like
don't
that
have
are like
beards.
really controlling the government.
Big ass beards.
They have beards that sweep the floor.
Yeah.
So
My thing is, why not just make extra armor for your beard? Like, think about it. If you
well,
have,
they go the extra
if
step.
you have a 4-foot,
They put a beard in their armor.
Well, we know their armor has a beard, but why not have your beard go in the beard armor so you can like not have to shave? I'm just saying, like,
Because that's wasting materials.
shut up. Respect the beard, bruh.
That's wasting. That's not very pragmatic of you.
Shut up. I like the photo layers better. I have beards.
Yeah, you want to paint orange all the damn
Oh
time?
god, so many small shirtless men.
Angry
You know,
smalls.
given the conversation we just had, that should be your army, Mitchell. God damn it.
My prime will be in my 30s.
Oh shit.
Oh, somebody's gonna go.
Somebody didn't put their
I
phone
made
on
a
my
mistake. I'll be right back. I gotta take this. I'm so sorry. I failed.
Thanks, Jess, for interrupting us.
I had a massive party foul and I forgot to silence my phone.
Boo.
I'm sorry.
Boo.
Boo. Hi,
Shame.
Jess.
Ting ting.
we can sign you to the feetsies.
It's going in the book.
I'm not moving my feet like that's your fucking.
No, I just expected you to be like sitting with your legs at right angles, not like sticking your
No,
feet way
it's
out.
like-
And so I like moved my foot over, and I was like, "Where the fuck?"
It's like, wait a minute. Yeah, sorry about that.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
There's a lot
Shit.
of honor.
Oh yeah, like their contract shits and like their oaths and all that bullshit, right?
So they're very honor bound, like any other dwarf is. Of
course they are.
But they also are very,
Sketchy.
very sketchy. Although they are honor bound to uphold a contract, they will do everything in their power to find a loophole.
They are 100%. If you read sub
On page 376, subsection
Jesus Christ.
subsection
Subsection
3002
3947-27A. If you're
subsection B subsection 7.
if elf contract is void. Yeah, so like they're honor bound, very honor bound, but they're honor bound to the contract, and if the contract has loopholes, you will in fact be loopholed.
Yes.
And that's
If
basically
you leave a loophole in that contract, they're gonna drive a fucking semi right through that loophole.
Yep, and then essentially it's just get styled on, bitch.
That's
and
why
that's basically what
there
it
is this saying that you must read, never sign a Kharadron writ without reading it 10,000 times. Like, you need to understand what might be written inside that letter.
The Kharadron's the type of motherfuckers that they're like, yes, we're gonna go make a contract with the humans, and then they have the entire contract in Khazalid, so they can't read it. But then it's not just Khazalid; it's some weird fucked up dialect of Khazalid. So once they get someone who can read Khazalid, he's like, "There's
no fucking
D's where the A's are supposed to be, and I'm very confused." And then just for shits and giggles, they probably have some orc in there too. Like that's the type of shit they'll do. Like
and
if you can beat them at their own game, like you got them. But
And
like,
then it is, the contract is as intended, not as written.
as intended, not as written.
Or they can play either way.
So basically, it's like, cool. If you beat us at our own game and we can't loophole you, we'll just pull the. That's not what the spirit of the contract was.
Yes.
That's not what the heart of the
Wow.
cards are.
That's some bullshit.
You know what's super fucked up? I bet 100% if you made a deal with a card on and you were like, man, and you read the whole fucking thing and you got all of his loopholes, right? And he's like, fuck, okay, now I'm gonna pull the spirit of the contract, and you managed to like figure that out too, and you're like, no, bitch, I still got you. He'd be like, that's a grudging. And then you would get grudged for it. How much do you want to bet?
I think they would be more impressed because they honestly believe that if somebody can be exploited through the contract and they don't understand they're about to be exploited, they deserve it.
It's not my fault they're dumb.
Exactly. So if you figure it
Like
out,
the epitome of get good.
if you figure it out, they're going to probably go like, well, I'm writing this in the book. It's for a good manner. Like,
It's like, I'm angry you beat me.
it's being
But
written.
my anger is surpassed by my respect.
It's being written in blue instead of red.
It reminds me of, like, I don't know why, but it's like doing that to a Kharadron. You get a that's a grudgin, but instead of an angry, it's like, that's a grudgin. Like, that's a good grudgin. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm angry, but, like, nice.
Yeah.
It's like the joke where every time you spend your money stupidly, Samuel L. Jackson yells "motherfucker" at you, but then like the tone of the motherfucker changes depending on what you spend money on.
Yeah. Also, the Kharadron Overlords are no stranger to grudges. They don't have a book. Philip, they don't have a book.
They have a hall, a building of grudges
in their district.
No, you don't understand.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand. So you don't have a grudge. You have a rune of mark. And what a rune of mark is it is a notarized grudge. That literally says if you have a properly signed rune of mark, you are not restricted by the Kharadron code. It's literally like I have a grudge against Mitchell and I no longer have to obey the Constitution.
No. Actually, it's even better than that.
There is no Geneva Convention anymore.
It's even
What are you doing? I'm making mustard gas for Mitchell's mailbox.
Dude, all I can think is that, like, you know, there's the Kharadron Overlords. They're like, oh yeah, we have all these rules. This is how we conduct ourselves. This is how we commit fights.
All I hear is that's going in the fucking book, and they're like, get that man a mark.
And they're like, you know, oh yeah, so like we're preparing for war, blah blah blah. And then some dude just runs in and he's like, Tim's gonna be there. What? Tim's gonna be there.
Friendly fire has now been activated.
Oh. So Tim's gonna be there. Yes. Bring me the mustard gas.
Him is about not to be there.
bring me the Flammenwaffe. Oh Lord,
Hans,
get the shield.
get the Luga.
Get the Luga. What's even more hilarious? Like I'm not sure it's true as I read this somewhere, but I'm also like not exactly fully functioning right now. But I think they said that if you actually like complete a rune of mark, if you like settle a grudge and come back, like this is the proof of me settling the grudge. So
here's the skin I tore off of his face.
So what it says is any like plunder you get while settling this grudge, because once again you're no longer under the fucking Constitution, so you can do whatever the fuck you want to settle the grudge. Whatever plunder you get, you have to bring back to like the Kharadrons, like the council, and they will split the plunder like any normal ship would.
Yeah.
But they also say that if you bring back proof of a completed grudge, you'll be richly rewarded. So basically, you come back and you're like, haha, I ripped off Tim's nuts and made him eat them. They're like, come get paid, bitch. It's so awesome. Oh, I fucking love dwarves.
God. They take it to another level because they're not going to forget it, because they're going to write it in their own like subsection of a Kharadron code or something. And like, oh,
it's awesome.
Oh, this like random sitting in the middle of nowhere told us no when we really needed them to say yes. No more trade for them ever.
Do you know what is like what could be subjected to a grudge that I find fucking hilarious? Losing a battle. If you're like me and Phil are at war and Phil kicks my ass and I'm like, that's a grudgin', it's like, wasn't it already? I could grudgeception. I am confused. Confused and Kazalid. Just a John Travolta meme, like, what the fuck? Oh god.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing. Another thing I want to talk about real quick about the whole like Kharadron honor thing and whatnot and their contracts is also that they always adhere to the code. So if you can actually like, you can technically, if you can figure out a way to go above a contract and like cite the code on them, if you can prove that like, nah, this contract like breaches code, like is not codex compliant. If this contract is not code compliant, like you can cite them on that, and they'll be like, okay, yep, fuck, sorry, boom, done, no hard feelings, completely and totally like it's
or like the grudge is against the code.
Well, I'm talking more about like if you get into a contract, but yeah, no, like the Kharadrons are so like focused in on obeying the Kharadron code that basically I would assume for grudges, yeah, but if you have like I don't think grudges would work because if you have a sign or a mark, that means that you have a once in a lifetime hall pass for not caring about your own societal rules.
You need to get that grudge notarized.
Notarized, yeah. But like if me and you got into a contract,
It's got to be an official grudge.
If me and you got into a contract and you were doing all your loophole bullshit, but I managed to prove that your contract went against the Kharadron code.
Is not codex compliant.
It would be like, cool, done. No grudge, no nothing. Like, this is not codex compliant. This is not okay. Everything's washed away. Like, no hard feelings. I think that's pretty cool.
Nice. That is pretty cool. Oh, hey, baby boy. Are you alive now that you finished your coffee?
No.
There's more.
You look a little better.
No, he doesn't.
I'm still very much dead inside. Thank you for asking.
Your hair looks better, and that's about it.
We're not going home tonight.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
'Cause I've also got this like gallon of fucking water next to me that I've been drinking.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah, I would just like to point out this was filled and it's now halfway empty.
Good. You need it. Hydrate.
Yeah, dude, this is the first time I've been hungover in a very long time.
So
when you complained about the humidity, I went,
Mitchell was like,
bruh,
he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. We went and got tacos for dinner, and me and Mitchell just sitting there and munch and have a good time, and Phil's just like, I crave the sweet embrace of death. Somebody kill me. I just want to die.
Because I'm also sleep deprived, and so fucking I could barely string sentences together. Or string words together into a sentence. And Mitchell's like, hey, come buy these tacos. And I'm looking at this board, and it's like, dude,
the letters are moving around and shit.
Well, not
I just
that,
told
but,
a lady to make the exact same tacos that I had.
But yeah, no, but I'm looking at this menu, and I'm like, okay, this is a Mexican place. They have tacos. Cool. I'll just get like a barbacoa taco. And I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, oh, no, it just says taco.
Hey.
Why does it just say taco? And then I look over, and I realize, oh, no, this is a build your taco place.
Cafeteria style. And Philip's
Yeah,
like,
and
panic,
I'm like, oh, fuck. And they come up to me, and they're like, hey, what kind of taco do you want? And I'm like,
nachos.
Mitchell, help.
Well, no, at first he was like, I'm going to get nachos, because, like, that's pretty fucking simple. And they're like, we're out of nachos. And Phil was like, God, are you there?
Yeah, and I was like, Mitchell, I need tacos. And he was like, okay, so order some tacos. And I was like, no, Mitchell, order me some tacos.
You don't understand,
I'm fucking
Mitchell.
gone.
Order my tacos for me, you bitch.
You're something that I
Phil's
think
over
you
here like,
almost
I'm
passed
barely
out while
coherent.
ordering tacos.
Yeah.
And you take me to a fucking cafeteria-style taco joint, you bitch.
Complaining about the humidity. I was like, it's the exact same humidity as it was outside.
And you know,
Yeah, except that it's inside. And, like, that's not fucking kosher.
And you know it's bad, too, because he wasn't like, oh, man, this humidity is pretty uncomfortable. He was like, humidity is fucking, not good. And we're like, oh, God, he's not having a good time. He's, like, rubbing his face on his glass of water and shit. Like, I'm like, oh, he's searching for coolness. That's the first sign. My man is fucked. You know it's bad when you're just like, oh, this feels so good on my face. You're just rubbing like bottles of water over your
Where the
face.
fuck are my glasses?
Where did your glasses go?
How long have I not had my... What the shit?
Excuse us. We'll be right back after this time. Yeah, bye.
All right,
Glasses
we're back.
have been
No,
acquired.
dude, like, I looked over at you, realized you were wearing glasses, then realized I wasn't wearing glasses, and I was like, oh shit, where the fuck are they?
So what makes this even more hilarious is that, like, a rewind, like, maybe, like, a month or two ago, Philip spent, like, 2 or 3 straight weeks only wearing, like, prescription sunglasses because he couldn't find his glasses. So Philip, if anyone's seen Blues Brothers, this is the quote from that. But basically, Philip personified the it's late, we have half a tank of gas, a full pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. We'd be in the dark, we'd be in my house, the blackout curtains drawn, we're watching the movie, nice and dark, we can see it, no glare, and Philip's wearing fucking sunglasses, and I'm like, can you see me? He's like, nope.
Yeah. We throw on, like, a scary movie, and, like, it'd be, like, pitch fucking black on the TV, and I'm sitting there wearing my sunglasses, and I'm just looking over, and I'm like, can I get a play-by-play?
Like, I can see colors. We'd be driving at night, like, Phil, are we gonna die? Probably. Who fucking knows? I don't know why my ass is driving.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. That's why that was funny for me, at least.
But yeah, no. Dude, honest to God, what makes it really funny is I just looked over at you and then
Noticed my
registered that like I was not wearing glasses, and I was like, hold on, this is not acceptable.
Yeah, no, the entire you came up with that glasses on. I figured you were just like, fuck it, this entire time. The sound test, everything, no glasses.
Yeah, no, it's because I thought I was wearing glasses and realized I wasn't.
Okay, guys.
Okay, yeah, back on topic.
I would like
sorry.
to be done before 12 because I do have neighbors, and we are loud.
Yeah, but like, fuck them.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He's a really nice guy, and those neighbors I can care less about. This person is really nice, and I like to have chats with them.
You couldn't care less about
I couldn't
them.
care less.
Yeah.
Correct. I thought that's
You said I can care less.
You know, somebody went at me
Moving
about
on.
how I said that.
Someone will tell Mitchell he fucked it up, then probably ask
Yeah,
for a
it's
Warlord
me.
Titan. Did you see how I defended you? Did you see in
Yes.
points how I defended
Yes.
you? I fucking tried. Someone was like, "Has he opened the box?" And I'm like, "No, real alert, no." Quit it.
Every single time it's mentioned, it's like another month he's added to the tally.
I just want him to fucking build it.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
Well, talking about fashion, look at this transition.
No, hold on. real quick. So we didn't talk about oaths and whatnot. Is when Kharadron crew are assigned to sky vessels, they're also like bonded with bonded to the sky vessel with not only contracts and oaths but also rituals and things like that too.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes into the whole like honor and oath and whatnot. And
They care about their
Grunt Corps infantry also have like specialized contracts as well.
Dude, they care about their sky vessels so much.
Yes,
They
yeah.
will fix the sky vessel as they're bleeding to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, it kind of depends on what skyport they're from or how their ships run. But yeah, some Kharadron crew or ships or sky vessels are like, yes, you're missing a limb. Fix that fucking engine before you even think of tourniqueting yourself, bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that just kind of goes to show how intricate and how like detail oriented they are when it comes to like their honor and their oaths and their contracts. And, like they contract and they oath bind everything. You know, so like it's a real integral part to their society. Is everything is documented, everything is on paper, and oh my god, they're just the administratum from 40K.
If you wanted to play as the government, play Kharadron Overlords. Because that's role playing as the
Or
government.
what you do is you show up to a tournament in like your absolute best like clerk outfit, and you have your army, but before you even start, you have like 70 forms, and you're like, I'm gonna need you to sign all these before we start playing. And every single form needs to be notarized.
It's really helpful because I got multiple friends that are notaries, so
Well, sounds
I just
like-
bring them with
It
me.
sounds like you know what to do.
Okay, but talking about you're losing your glasses all the time. Fashion. God, look at that transition. So good.
What the fuck is that? Hold up.
It's a tennis wrap. It's a tennis grip. Tennis
God,
racket
you
grip.
still have these?
No, I needed them for my hockey sticks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought this was. I saw you pull that out, and I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that.
Yeah, just
What?
got a bag over there.
I've had to redo some tennis grips before.
Like
Yeah.
Philip's face was just the what in tarnation?
I haven't seen one of these in
Dude,
like
the U.S.
10
Open's
years.
going on at the moment.
Oh yeah, who's
Yeah.
doing? Or who's going? Or blah, 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 blah.
Medvedev is like,
Oh yeah, that's right. I wouldn't know any of these people because I haven't
Yeah.
kept up with tennis for
Yeah.
like a decade.
yeah.
I still remember that tennis
Doklovich
match.
is still going though.
I vaguely remember that name. Yeah.
This is his 10th U.S. Open.
God damn.
Yeah.
I still remember that game. That was like at the time it was like the longest game in history. It was that mixed doubles match. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, you don't remember that? I think it was at.
I didn't really ever keep up with tennis.
Wimbledon?
Okay,
Christ,
But that
continuing.
was back in our like
was
sophomore
miserable.
year.
Yeah, okay. Continuing. Oh, when
Sorry, I was in the middle of dying.
That's when
for
I
a
played
second.
tennis.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fun fact-
literally a decade ago.
Fun fact: we probably played tennis against each other in our freshman year and just didn't know it.
Do you want to hear a real quick like little Circe was stupid story? Like real quick.
Yeah.
Woe to the days.
Oh wait, sorry.
Die alone, Philip.
I'm working on it.
What's the things the drinking's for? No, woe to the days where little Circe thought that tennis was an easy sport. The first time I played tennis, I thought
My
I
knees
was
would
gonna.
like to disagree with you on that fact.
No, the first time I played tennis, I thought I was gonna die.
It is. Very...
Everything hurt. I was drenched in sweat. I had sweat in places sweat had never been. Yeah. And I thought I was gonna die, and the person I was facing looked just an absolute picture of health, and I'm like, how?
To be fair, you're built more like a linebacker.
Well, this was back when I was actually fit, because I was in athletics and.
Well, no, like I'm talking about like your shoulders and like. How you look. You literally look like a linebacker.
Tennis is not my sport.
Yeah, Mitchell over here, he looks more like a good tennis boy.
I play hockey.
Do you know what I'm pretty good at?
Soccer.
No, I mean, I was back when I, had stamina and I got fat. No, badminton.
That's just tennis with volleyball.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually pretty good at it, though. I mean, I haven't played it in years. When I did play it, I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, no, little seriously, I was like, you're just hitting a ball back and forth. And I played it, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yes. Fashion. The Kharadron Overlords in their
are very fashionable.
Gucci boots.
Yeah.
Or Air Jordans.
So they really like to spruce up.
The anime thing you're talking about? A10 Warthog with the Gucci pumps.
Oh yeah, I was trying to describe Strike Witches to you. And you just kept coming up with the
what's
wacky.
That? It's a B2 and they're Doc Martens. Okay, Phil's gonna have to say what the fuck I'm talking about, or I'm gonna look really stupid.
Do you remember the anime show Strike Witches?
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to describe what that show was to Circe in the fewest words possible, and literally he was just like, "So you're telling me these because I was like, it's like Cancol, but with witches and flying around," and he was like, "So you're telling me these bitches are flying around through the airs with Doc Marten brand jets strapped to their feet?" And I was like, you're not wrong.
Yes.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, pardon me and my Gucci pumps as I unleash my A10 Warthog on you." And it's like, okay.
The Boeing B-29 Super Fortress in Heelys.
Oh my god. Okay.
These boots were made for walking missile lock.
My neighbors are gonna hate me.
Okay, moving on.
But yeah, so
I need to drink.
Since they mine a whole lot of Aether Gold, they have these suits that are, airtight. They just don't all want the same suit, so they kind of spruce them up a bit.
Yeah.
The higher up you are in the ranks, the more gold and more colorful,
Yeah, I was
more
gonna say,
intricate.
can you guess what they use on their armor? Drum roll, please. Gold! Shocking.
Really? I love gold.
Gold! Sometimes they'll do pictures of the ancestors, like Grungy, Valleya.
Yeah.
Or their personal ancestors
or their
too.
personal ancestors. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they won't have anything. It actually kind of depends. Skyport to Skyport.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times, yep. Yeah, I was about to say that, and then it didn't click until I said something.
I'm sorry, I stole
So I'm
your
just gonna
thunder.
shut up.
No, I'll be quiet. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna speak anymore. I'm gonna go back to the doghouse.
But a dog.
Don't start. We won't shut the fuck up.
But a dog.
God damn it. Dog with the butter.
Okay.
Dog with the butter. The dogged butter. The butter dog. But yeah, no. So
yeah. Also
they're
on top
actually
of
pretty
this,
fashionable. It's
yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah. No. So that's the funny thing is that they very much participate in
Fashion souls.
Yeah, a little bit. So each barrack kind of has its own unique fashion to it. So you can usually tell the members of a barrack from how they dress, and even then they'll denotate different members of society. So different merchants versus Grundcore versus things like that by the way that by their coloration and how they cut their clothes and things like that. So it's actually quite interesting.
It's actually pretty intricate. It's really, yeah.
It's honestly, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the not Aes Sedai, the fucking god damn it, the desert people from the Wheel of Time.
Oh shit!
Why can I not remember? The Aiel. It reminds me of the Aiel. So the Aiel, their whole shtick is that they all wear this thing called the Kharadron sword, which is basically it's almost like a suit, but it's camouflaged. So it's browns and grays and reds and things like that to blend in with the desert that they're from. But they each one is cut slightly differently to represent not just which clan you're from, but also which warrior society you're a member of as well. And so, like, to people outside, it all looks the same to them. But to the members of the Aiel, they take one look at you and they know not only what clan you're from, but also which warrior society you're a member of. Which
Just
is very
like-
important to the Aiel because, like
Tartans.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it. I know I kind of went on this rant in the car on a part 1 episode, but I just like they're just so cool.
They're just
like
neat.
because you see this mercantile, really pragmatic society that's all about
Oh my
profit
gosh.
and like making logical decisions, but they're also just like
They're
the fashion walkway though, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, the fashion walkway though.
they're the East India Trading Company.
Yeah, a little bit.
If it flew instead of sailed
They had the world.
They do sail.
to
In the sky.
In the sky.
Come sail away.
Caw, bitch.
Come sail away. Come sail away with me.
Oh, they actually do tattoos too. Lots of tattoos.
Yes, and their tattoos also. They're not basic white girls with their tattoos of like spin the wheel to see what you get this
No,
Friday.
do you know what their tattoos are like? You know what the comparison in my head? Maui from Moana.
Yeah,
How he tattoos all his achievements on his skin.
Yeah.
They do the same thing.
Yeah, they very much remind me
or
of
they,
the,
like-
what is that group of people called? Like the actual IRL people.
Shit.
The
This is the time. Samoans.
Yeah,
I believe
Samoans,
that's right. Yeah,
Samoans.
yeah.
My brain's like, I was like, the gears were turning. I was like, I fucking know this.
Yeah, it very much makes me think of that. But like,
Well, the cool thing is, it's not just achievements either. It's like
Family
it could be
members.
family members, lovers. If they had a good like fiscal year, I think like they do. Basically, it's achievements, but not just like I did this cool thing, but like I married my wife and like I love her, or we had kids, or I made a bunch of money, and it's like cool, put it on my skin.
I found this.
it could just it could
if
be any
they
kind of
settled a
important
good
moment.
grudging.
It could be any kind of important moment
Yeah.
in their life.
But the cool thing is like it almost seems like they do it more for themselves. They only do it for themselves and for people who are really close to them, because normally it's covered up by armor, and they don't normally walk around not in like some form of armor or like work clothing, you know. So like I feel.
So here's a question.
It's
though.
so they look
Do
way cooler when they're suiting up.
Are the tattoos like specific to certain parts of the body? Like, do they only do it on their hands, or like can it be like anywhere on their body, like on their face?
I think they would just do it anywhere on the body, and I think it would depend on like like it would depend
how
I would
highly they
suppose-
hold the event in their
yeah,
lives.
I would suppose it would depend on like what the tattoo's for. Like I'm not entirely sure how like the card onto their tattoos, but if it was just like I'm gonna get a tattoo of like my wife, it'd just be like a name like on your arm or something. But if they're like I'm gonna get the tattoo of the Battle of Burning Skies where I shot Bellicor in the dick, and probably be like on across their entire chest.
Either that or like on their face because they're like, yeah, I want people to know that I shot
It's
him
like,
in
what's
the dick.
on your left titty, Bellicor being a bitch?
It really brings
Not gonna
it really
lie,
brings
his
out my
tail
eyes during
brushed my,
swimsuit
like the
weather.
left side of my back. I almost shit myself. I was like, what the fuck? I turned there and he wasn't there, and I was like, what in tarnation? Hey, baby boy. But yeah, I just assume it depends on the importance or like how well depicted they want it to be.
Yeah.
Or it could, man, I didn't look too far into this, but like it could be like tribal shit, and like they have their own way of like depicting events through language or like pictographs or something like that. You know, who knows? Can we talk about the beards now? We kind of already talked. I guess we kind of already talked about the beards.
Yeah.
Kharadrons are actually pretty stylish with their beards and their hair and whatnot.
They
because
trim them. They put braids in them.
It's not just like
beads,
dwarf have big
They
beard.
shave.
I'm not gonna
Which
lie.
heresy.
If I ever had to see a dwarf without a beard, I'd be like, man, that's a fat gnome.
Okay, okay.
Would you like to
Let's
see
be
female
honest.
dwarves because they don't have beards?
Let's be honest though. If a dwarf came up and had like the fucking grandest mutton chops, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I gotta agree with that one. That'd be pretty fire. Slayer.
Yay.
I hate you just a little bit.
Just saying, fire slayer mutton chops, but it's not hair, it's fire.
Yeah, it's absolute. It is fire.
sense in my head.
I
I wonder if I can find a picture of like. Oh, here's one kinda. It's blurry as shit, but tattoo.
Oh yeah.
She would murder you.
I'd be okay
she
with
would
that.
kill me with a look. That bitch looks terrifying.
Bruh,
Yeah.
please.
I would die.
Yes, please.
Oh, their masks too. I think this kind of falls into both fashion and their relationship with religion. A lot of times, like the helmets of their power armors and whatnot, they look like ancestors. Like sometimes it'll be Valea or Grungy or whatever. Sometimes it'll be one of their own ancestors, but they actually model their helmets to look like ancestors. I think they're called ancestor masks, and it's just the helmet of the power armor.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone
I'm gonna be honest,
does
I don't
it.
actually know if this armor is like power armor or if it's just a sealed suit of armor with its own
I'm
oxygen
pretty
supply.
sure it's power armor. I think
That wouldn't surprise me because
I think I
of
read
how
it.
much work they do with Aether Gold.
Yeah, and how toxic it is. Like I feel like if you're gonna make a suit that can be highly corrosion resistant and be environmentally sealed with a rebreather, like you might as well also put some shit in there to make you strong as fuck. Like if you're already gonna have to do cool shit, you might as well do maximum cool shit.
Yeah.
Just saying. We're not really gonna talk about sky vessels just because we don't want to. That's a whole nother fucking pile of worms.
Yeah.
There's lots of different dwarven shit that flies, and like it all has a gun. Probably.
Look, if you want to hear an episode,
literal Death Stars.
yeah, if you want to hear an episode about it, please drop it in an ideas
you know
and
what?
request.
You actually know it'd be really cool if we did an episode that was just about like the vehicles of AOS.
Oh God.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be
like
pretty
different
interesting.
factions vehicles.
The steam tank.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
technically.
yeah.
The parasite engine.
I've always
God.
wanted to start my own like
That's
Age
not a
of
vehicle,
Sigmar
that's a
team.
That's a Titan.
Yeah, that's a biological monolith.
I always wanted to start my own like Age of Sigmar team to go to tournaments and whatnot. And
I wish I liked the tabletop more.
Bryan College Station, they have their like local 40K team, which is called Gets Hot, which is the old plasma rule.
Well,
But the steam tanks have a rule called more pressure,
more pressure, yeah.
which you just take what like you roll and you can take like one mortal wound.
And you do more damage, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's more pressure.
Yeah, because you're just shooting like pressurized fucking steam at people.
So I always wanted the
It's
team
like
name to
horrifically
be.
painful.
I always wanted the team name to be like Gets Hot and More Pressure.
Get hot, more pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I've been ramping up my 40K model production. If you want to do a 40K team, I'd be down with that.
I'm Gets Hot.
Hmm?
I'm Gets Hot.
Your gets hot.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm down for doing some AOS tournament stuff. We can do doubles.
Stormcast.
You would actually remember the rules. I'm sorry, Johnny.
That was rough.
Was
My
rough
throat
for
hurted.
I'm not going to AOS. Or I'm not
everyone.
AOS. I'm not going to LVO with you in tournament though, because like I am terrified of that shit.
Dude, it was really fun and everybody was very chill for the doubles. I actually highly recommend it.
All right.
Because everybody there was like, dude, we're playing doubles. We're here to drink beer, roll dice, and die.
And perish. On Kharadron language, basically they speak a form. It's kind of like a successor to Old Khazalid called Kharadron. Basically, that's the language that Kharadron Overlords speak. They know lots of different languages, so they can trade better with different species. But like, yeah, their language is called Kharadron. It's based off Old Khazalid, and like that's kind of it. There you go. That's language. Fuck, what else? I think we've gone over quite a bit about their society and whatnot. I know there's like guilds and stuff we can talk about and like other shit.
Yeah, basically
Titles, but like
the big thing to talk about the guilds is basically just like, oh hey, if there's a group of people that make
They
a
do
product,
shit.
like they form a guild.
Oh, I know. They're like trading network stuff, like commercial money things. I'll keep it short because like really doesn't need to be long winded. Basically, Aether Gold isn't the only thing that the Kharadrons sell. Like if they can make money on it, they're probably selling it. Exotic goods, weapons, other currencies, and shit.
One thing I find very interesting about their trading and their economy and stuff is that they will specifically go to certain like new cities and they would actually invest in their infrastructure and they will have a contract with that city to have sole trading rights with that city.
Yeah.
So they will get a lot more money in the back.
Just so we're clear, when you say sole trading rights, you mean soul is in singular, not soul is in like that thing that makes up part of your humanity.
Yeah, we're not talking about like angering Nagash.
Yeah.
Angering Nagash. Also, they have no limit of who they trade to because they also trade with the Orc War Clans and Ozark Bone Reapers.
Listen, fuck it if we get paid, right? Like, well, I also know that, like, the Kharadrons are like heavily involved in like black market shit too. They don't give a fuck.
Bones be bones. If you're killing people, just boil off their flesh and give them to the people.
They live in the fucking sky. What are you gonna do? Come get us? Like, yeah, please come into the sky. See what happens. Oh no, we're selling black market goods. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
What's funny? They're such dicks. If they'll go like because like no one really has technology like them. They will 100% take like, oh yeah, this is my rinky dinky like old ma and pa pellet gun that I made, but because it's a Kharadron weapon, it looks like it shoots fucking laser beams. They'll go down to like this one podunk like human city and be like, who wants to give me 14 million gold for this like state of the art doom laser? And they're like, me, I want to do that, and they'll 100% get away with that shit.
Oh yeah,
it's funny. They mark up their prices so goddamn bad because they're like, humans are dumb.
Oh yeah,
like some of these motherfuckers are still using pitchforks, and I'm like, do you want a grenade? And they're like, what's that? It can kill Nagash. Okay, I will give you my firstborn. And it just fucking works. Yeah, that's their commercial practices. They're very diverse and also very shady.
I thought you were about to say, and that's the commercial break.
We'll be right back after this commercial break. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, God.
And NordVPN. And probably Audible. Who knows?
Sheath underwear.
Manscaped.
Now selling the lawnmower 4.0. Hey, that's my water fucker.
Oh gosh. What's another well-known like
Liberty Gold?
Liberty Gold is another one.
Acre Gold?
Acre Gold.
I blew all mine.
Security system.
VPN?
No.
I already said that. NordVPN, sorry.
What's this?
There's another like Shark VPN, I think.
There used to be Tunnel Bear, but they were bought out by Google.
Fucking of course they were.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by the Patreon members.
Yeah, right? Yeah, this episode is brought to you by the Patreon members. 100%.
100%, yeah.
Definitely.
Actually, it kind of was because like they're the ones who paid for the gas for me to get down here.
Yeah.
Anything else? There is more stuff to talk about, but like it's not really about the society or the culture. It's more like, hey, these are like some of the cities that exist that are like where the Kharadron Overlords kind of like have their shit, and like, there's more stuff that we could go over, but like it's not as important realistically, and we're all kind of drunk. So
I'm not drunk. I'm just horribly hungover.
I'm not drunk. I'm just miserable.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, or are we? I mean, yeah, I guess we said this was going to be kind of a short one because we did so much talking about. Realistically, this was a 3-hour episode. We split into 2 separate episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much to talk about. Can we not do a race breakdown for our next episode? This one was rough.
Yeah, and we didn't even cover any of their like units or anything like that.
No, fuck, dude, no. So much stuff. Well, I think we're also like trying to get away from like covering units and stuff when it comes to race breakdowns, and more just talk about like the race itself, their lore. Their
well, sometimes some of their units are pretty like some.
No,
units
you're right.
Interesting.
You're right. Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess the main thing we're trying to stray away from being like too tabletopy because like, there's other podcasts for that.
Yeah, no, but like the black the black. We talked about them in the last episode. Well, the not bonus episode, but the guys who came around specifically to fight the Nighthawk.
Oh, the Black Marines, I think. They're in the obsidian armor.
Yes,
they exist to kill ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh
God, damn
There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Call Kharadrons! Apparently. Ghost hears a shotgun load of fucking anti-ghost slug with malicious intent.
What?
What?
Okay, well, I guess that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, sorry, this was a little short, but this is more of a mop-up episode, just so...
Yeah, you're gonna listen to all of our conversations and probably go like, wow.
Hey, listen, you get to hear, like, me start screeching about Gucci boot planes. So, like, you know, there's that.
Yeah, no, I'm way too bougie for a mid-20-year-old.
Oh, and the game... We're going to post this in the Discord tonight. tonight, and then Saturday night tonight. The game that we're going to be doing for game night on Tuesday, we didn't get this to y'all earlier because we suck, and we're getting used to the new game night thing as well, is Killing Floor 2.
Yeah.
You told me I have to buy a game?
Yes.
Use that Patreon funding. That's what it's for.
What it's for. I'll hold your hand while you do it. I'll make you feel better. Make you a warm cup of tea. I can see his mouth twitch. He's like, mother. So we can't play Battle Bit every single fucking game night. Really fun, though.
Yeah.
It's a really fun game. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.